We talked about returns to scale this lecture. If you double capital and double labor, then what happens to output? If you double both inputs and output more than doubles, you have increasing returns to scale. If you double both inputs and output doesn't double, it goes up by less than 2 times, then you have decreasing returns to scale. If you double both inputs and output exactly doubles, you have constant returns to scale. Or more generally, if you multiply inputs by x, does the output also get multiplied by x, or by more or less than that? You might wonder how returns to scale work in the real world. Well, to explore that, let's walk through the life of a startup company. Imagine you graduate from college and have a brilliant idea for a new delivery company. When you start out, you're the only employee. You handle customers and the website and the finances and the legal issues. The only labor is you, the only capital is your computer. What are the returns to scale at this point? Most likely increasing returns to scale, and that's because of specialization. You might be great with customers, but less great with websites. If so, you can double your inputs and more than double your outputs. If you hire a web specialist and get her a computer, you're doubling your inputs. But because she can now focus on what she's good at, and you can focus on what you're good at, you can now do more than twice as much as before. Specialization is great, and you can keep taking advantage of it for a while. You can hire 2 more workers and buy 2 more computers, one a legal expert and one an accounting expert, and you'll keep having increasing returns to scale. But once you get past the first batch of workers, you start to run out of ways to specialize. At that point, you have 1 worker on each task. If you doubled all your inputs at this point, all you'd be doing is taking your existing firm and copying it. There's no more gains from specialization, so if you double inputs, you basically exactly double outputs. That's constant returns to scale. And eventually, you'll run to decreasing returns to scale. At some point, if you double your workers, there isn't enough work to go around. Some people are idle, or your output less than doubles. Or your company might get so big that it's incredibly complicated to run it. You lose some efficiency there too. The point of this example is to show how returns to scale work in the real world. It's an issue every company deals with, and it's a handy way to think about the relationship between inputs and outputs.